They're here.
It is only one man.
No, they're here.
Yo, what's good, everybody? How's everybody doing today, tonight, depending on where you're listening from? Today, I wanted to do an update on the crazy stuff that's been happening the past few days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, after Kirky Boy got timed out. So, there's a lot of stuff that happened in the past few days. The FBI director was put in, had a hearing in the Congress. There's a lot of stuff to cover on what he said. There's a lot of stuff to cover on what the right-wing people have been doing. There's a lot of things to cover on the aftermath of what happened. So I wanted to start with something that's kind of ironic, but it's going to set the tone for the rest of the stream of what they've been up to. So here you can see Charlie Kirk's allies warn Americans, mourn him properly or else. So, to those who aren't in the know, it's been for the past few days a huge cancel culture wave that happened. That anybody who said something mean about him on Twitter or anywhere else, they've been going after them, calling their businesses, calling their bosses, their jobs, trying to get them fired. So the people who were championing free speech and all that, who were trying to stop the leftists from getting themselves fired after being racist and all that, now they're saying, "Oh, if you don't mourn him well, or if you disrespect his memory, you'll get fired." Someone actually had their jobs been called to fire them when they only did was post what Charlie Kirk himself said. So they didn't say anything by themselves. They just pointed out what he used to say, and they had their businesses and their jobs called so they can get them fired. So it's kind of funny how the tables turned around, and now the people who used to champion free speech are now the biggest hypocrites of championing the cancel culture, and now they're trying to rebrand it as accountability culture. Shit's ridiculous. Like, look at this. Why does the left fear free speech so much? Unlike you, snowflakes, I'm not so easily triggered. And now instantly they just created a website with 50,000 people database, compiling their tweets and all, saying mean things about Charlie Kirk's memory. So you can tell how fucking hypocrites these people are. So yeah, that's what I wanted to start with. But a lot of shit that happened with America the past few days. Mainly, I want to focus on the days that led up to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, because a lot of shit went down the weeks before it happened. And I'm going to start with a video that I want you all to watch and listen to carefully, of a timeline of what happened leading up to that. Let's watch.
Candace Owens, to be honest with you,
Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. A couple of weeks ago, before Charlie lost his life, Charlie was in the Hamptons.
Tumultuous, stormy meeting held in the Hamptons during the first week of August, convened by the billionaire ultra-Zionist financier Bill Ackman, who was close to Netanyahu and his kind of network in the United States. Charlie Kirk was summoned, and Charlie Kirk was, according to one source, hammered by Ackman and others for allowing Israel critics, very prominent conservative voices like Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, or the anti-Zionist Jewish comedian Dave Smith, to appear at his events.
It was at this time that Bibi Netanyahu was called, and Charlie was invited to Israel. This was an under duress situation, I would say, because I've been in these situations before. When I started asking very sensible questions about Israel, as someone who had dedicated her political life to supporting Israel, many times alongside Charlie Kirk, I was met with the very same pressure. And just like Charlie was being invited to Israel, I was invited somewhere else. And when this arrived to me, it felt like a threat. Not like, hey, come here and we can educate you because you're my friend. More like, this is your last chance.
Okay, so just keep in mind that literally, okay, just one day after that meeting, Kirk made his comments about the pressure he's facing and the criticism he's getting on Megyn Kelly's show.
Honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megyn, calling me an anti-Semite. My moral character is now being put into question, Megyn.
So the timeline makes sense. Everything adds up here. And I'm also inclined to believe Candace Owens, to be honest with you, because I have personally seen the wrath of pro-Israel figures in this country threaten you. And if they see that they can't really do much about your employment, they'll go after your family members. They'll try to ruin your life. That's currently happening to my husband right now, who's not a political figure at all, has never even uttered a word about Israel or what's happening with the genocide in Gaza. But since these people can't touch me, they're going after my husband and attempting to get him fired from a job that he loves. That's who these people are. They're despicable. Despicable.
So that's what I wanted to show you, to give you a timeline of what actually happened. And if you want to read an article that explained that in much details, you can go there. Billionaire Bill Ackman convened stormy Israel intervention with Charlie Kirk. Because what happened was, this dude invited him and 100 other influencers on the right to come to this Hampton retreat, a restaurant and a hotel. It was a big retreat, right? So everybody came. They said it was just to gather the right-wing voices and talk about all this stuff. And they did an intervention. They ambushed that dude, right? They ambushed him and made him like an ambush. They started talking about, why you doing this? Why you doing that? Why did you put that comedian into your convention where you had him debate someone else about Israel and let him have a voice in this conversation? Why did you put Megyn Kelly? Why did you put Tucker Carlson? Like, they put him on the spot on why he did all these stuff that made Israel look bad, and gave the other side a voice to voice what happened and what actually Israel was doing. So it was a big intervention. They put him on the spot. And what's crazy is, I have a video from Charlie Kirk himself talking to Megyn Kelly after this intervention, a day after this intervention, that he was complaining and he was mad, that he said they put my character into question because I dared to question what was happening and the propaganda that's being pushed. Like, it's crazy. And this dude got timed out just weeks or days after that intervention. I'm gonna show you a few other videos from his podcast with that dude that does these PBD, his initials. I forgot his name. I don't care to listen to that dude. But I'm going to show you a few videos from his podcast with that dude. And I'm going to show you something crazy that happened after that. Watch this.
Has a mandate, I gotta be careful the way I say this, they're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people, okay? I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. But I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand-down order?
That's why that dude got timed out, because he started to ask questions, because he started to put people into positions to voice their disapproval or to give a counter argument to the propaganda that Israel has been pushing and has been giving to these influencers on the right to push out. Because in that Hampton, they if you go back and read that article, it laid it out in detail. They had 100 type of right-wing influencers, and they were like instructed and been given instructions on how to give their voices more into the support of the Israel cause, because the shift has been happening. The right wing, even right wing young people are starting to move away from even supporting, or the idea of supporting Israel. Because why the fuck is America giving all that money, all that influence, doing whatever Israel wants out of the taxpayers' dollars? Because all your taxpayers are going to Israel well-being and their defense. Whatever Israel wants, Israel gets. And you know why? Because of this. Some friendships transcend time and space, and it's gonna transcend all time and space until that dude is long gone. Hey, come over, bees. Let me give you the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube community tab. Hold on, let me put it in my community tab. So yeah, this is what I want to show you. By now, I'm gonna show you the video of Charlie Kirk being mad about them about after the intervention that happened. What up, bees? What's going on?
What up, bro? It's the
Nothing
same.
much happening.
No, the only thing you're missing is it's the same entity, bro.
No, I know.
So America don't work for Israel. Israel works for America.
No, I think it's the other way around.
No, it's not. No.
How so? Explain it to me.
Basically, they are America's knife. They can go out and do what America wants, while America still tries to say that they're for international law and they're for all this stuff. Well, the people who are actually funding Israel, who are funding America, it's just the same people. These people aren't Jewish. These people label themselves Jewish. These people are the people that own the Federal Reserve Bank. It's the same people. Israel is nothing more than an America in the Middle East, which they're trying to develop because these people refuse to give up power of the world. So
I hear you.
They're going to take this. Netanyahu's going to get the blame. He's going to be the fall guy. This Israel is always doing this, always doing that, when the truth is, who is the colonial power? Who even came up with the idea of Israel? The colonial England. The colonial empire has never gone away. It's just shifted from which country was at the top. Why do you think America is supporting Ukraine? The deep state is people who live in America, England, Europe, Israel. The money is the same. It's the same collection of people. They have dual citizenship to these different states, but they are running America. And you're right. That's why he got disposed of. He took some of their money and then he started popping off. And they weren't going to allow that. I'm going to tell you right now. I used to think that it was Israel leading America. Now, can Netanyahu tell Trump something? Probably, because the backers are the same. But let me give you an example. He just announced that he's going full ground war into Gaza, right?
Yes, that's correct.
You know when he did that?
Like the same day that he got deleted?
No. Marco Rubio flew to Israel. Go check it.
Yeah, I see that. I did see that.
Gave him the green light like we always do. And now he's carrying out the wishes of the United States. Why do you think the international world won't punish them? Because it's going to start a war with the United States. And the governments, the real people in the governments, they know this. It's just that they play along with the deception. The deception is, it doesn't matter if you live in Iraq, Iran, America, England. There's a small group of people deciding your fate. And if they ever let you know that, you'll have an uprising. This is the reason racism was created, Mahmoud.
I hear you what you're saying, but I have a counter to that because I think it's the other way around. Because no way in history, even for America's history, because they always had puppet nations and puppet governments all around the world to do their bidding. But in no way they had a puppet government that they went all that way for them and they stuck their neck out for them, even angering long-standing allies for them in that region, like Qatar and Saudi Arabia, all for the sake of Israel.
No. You're missing the point. America wants that land. We're going to call it Israel, but it's against the law that we set, the rules-based order that we edict after World War II. You're not supposed to be able to take people's land. Yes or no?
No.
We want to take their land.
But why though?
Because okay, this system that we have, right? And I'm gonna bridge a gap for you here. You ever actually wondered why they're putting all this money in Ukraine? Why they won't just accept their defeat? They've been defeated for over a year.
Yeah, they were.
But they won't accept it because the system is imploding. Their system is imploding. They need new capital. Capitalism is the right to take advantage of other people, right?
That's correct.
You have the right to take advantage of other people. Well, they pillaged the Middle East. They have control of that oil. They pillaged Africa. They've pillaged the whole world. And they've used diamonds, everything, minerals to fund this is how they got wealthy.
Yep.
Well, guess where the next stop is?
Ukraine. Yeah. Their minerals. Can you hear me? I think your voice went out. You there, Bees? Oh man, I think his voice went out. So I'm gonna fill there until Bees comes back. I don't know if he can hear me or not. But what I wanted to show y'all is the fact that Charlie Kirk was very mad after the intervention that happened. This is a day after the intervention that happened with him.
You brought this up, and I would second that. Megan, I think I have a bulletproof resume showing my defense of Israel, both on campus, on social media, to great, let's just say mockery and scorn at times because I believe it, right? I believe in the scriptural land rights given to Israel. I believe in fulfillment of prophecy. And again, I'm not a theologian, but I'm a Christian. My life was changed in Israel. The spiritual energy is so amazing there. I want them to win. I've said that repeatedly.
Same.
And however, Megan, you're hitting on something very potent and important. Now, let me first say, I don't want to judge an entire group because there's been many people in the pro-Israel world that have been very sweet, very kind, very nuanced, very Charlie, you were with us. You don't have to agree all the time. However, and I will say this, the behavior by a lot, both privately and publicly, are pushing people like you and me away. Not like we're going to be pro-Hamas, not like we're going to, but we're like, honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. I am learning biblical
ridiculous.
Hebrew and writing a book on the Shabbat. I honor the Shabbat, literally the Jewish Sabbath. I visit Israel and fight for it. And there's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Like, why are you, what am I doing? I'm sorry. Like, let's just take a step back here. Like, I'm an American citizen. Yes, I want Israel to win. Yes, I'm a Christian. But like, some of the mess, and you've seen how I've been treated, Megan, by some, not all, by some.
No, it's very irritating.
It's
been
almost
so
as if
unfair.
you,
They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other
Oh,
things,
it's so-
that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to
questioning my-
criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was
you're not allowed to,
overrepresented.
though. No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than that. Again, I just want to repeat for the 5th time. I love Israel. I want Israel to win. But my moral character is now being put into question, Megan. Not my decisions. Not like, hey, are you doing this? Is it smart or is it dumb? But no, I am a bad person if I do this. And I could go, I mean, you saw it, Megan. It was trending on Twitter, thousands of tweets and text messages. And if I were to be charitable and generous, I will say the people that are attacking me are in a hyper paranoid state because they're at war, and war tends to make things black and white, and you're a hammer looking for a nail. So I'm trying to be charitable, Megan. Literally, I'm trying to cut as much slack as I can, right? Like, okay, what would it be like if all of a sudden I'm starting to see a pattern of behavior similar to what my grandparents saw in 1930s Germany online? How would I behave? So that's like my charitable kind of overcompensation spirit. At the same time, I'm like, but it's not defensible to be dumb, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's offensive.
and
It's offensive to those of us who have been out there defending them in many instances against critics on our own side. And now you have a couple of comments like, well, what about this? Well, has it gone on too long? Like, is it time to wrap it up? And the thing about Epstein is just so bizarre. I don't know who he was an agent for. It might have been Israel or an asset, or it might have been nobody. But we're allowed to speculate about that. It's
No,
like
but-
there's
but
some
hold on,
rule.
but
You
are
can't go
we?
there when it comes to Israel.
well,
You see that? That's why they deleted him, bro. He got deleted by them because it's too coincidental that this dude made a huge intervention, getting all the right-wing influencers in the Hampton, in the hotel, and in the restaurant, talking about how we need to focus more of our messaging to support Israel because the young people are turning away in droves and we're losing the propaganda battle. And they made a huge intervention with him, saying, why did you put David Smith in that panel? Why did you put Tucker Carlson and you brought him to be a main speaker? Because they don't want to lose the battle. And because that dude took all that money from these billionaires and he was eating on their dime to push whatever they wanted to push, and then he started to question or move away from the narrative they want to push. Now you got to get out of here, bro. That's why they put him out. That's why they put him out, man. It's too obvious. And for them to use his passing to push a lot of shit. They pushed a lot of shit right now. One of them is now they're trying to use his memory to garner more recruits. You want to see that? There you go. They're trying to push more recruiting by using Charlie Kirk, man. They're gonna push for your children who have been influenced by Charlie Kirk or used to listen to him, and they're gonna use his memory to push your kids to go die in the Middle East. Military leaders consider recruiting campaigns centered on Charlie Kirk. Let me give you some of the details. Here you go. Hold on, let me find the detail. Hold on. There you go. Here's what it says. Pentagon leaders are considering a new recruiting campaign that would encourage young people to honor the legacy of assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk by joining the military, according to two officials familiar with the planning. So they're going to use your kids to go to another endless war in the... Oh, Bees is back.
Yeah,
Hey, how you doing, Bees?
they cut me, bro. I lost the internet. I lost everything. It just went out.
Man, they targeting you, man.
No. I told the dude at work that this was going to happen, right? Because you know what's coming up, right?
Yep.
So
They
back,
gonna use
back,
him.
no, back to the Ukraine thing, right? England, the G7, all those countries are cooked. They've
Very
exhausted.
cooked.
They've exhausted all of their collateral. They only are holding on. They have no collateral. They're so far in debt, it's not even funny, right?
Yep.
So they knew this was going to happen. This is why they're always going around in the Middle East. The reason why they do what they do in the Middle East is it keeps chaos. And the
Yep.
more chaos is in the Middle East, the more they get to steal your resources.
Not only steal our resources, but also blackmail the other stable Gulf countries into paying them more money. That's
Well,
why he
no,
went on this. That's
yeah.
why he went on that tour to Saudi Arabia, to
Yeah,
Qatar, to
he-
UAE. Hey, give me hundreds of billions of dollars so you
No,
can
no,
get
no,
some of
no.
our
So-
defense.
The reason he went over there is because you know how the mob shakes down restaurant owners?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's
That's all
trying
he's
to
doing.
blackmail them. He was
Right.
blackmailing them. Give
And-
us $100 million
and-
for our defense contractors to give you weapons. Give us the money so you won't have any problems.
And this is all under the guise of allies, freedom. Look, great states don't have allies. Truly, they don't. They just have people with common interests. Because at the end of the day, they're all trying to protect their own interests. So this is the reason why Ukraine and Iran and Israel is all in the same. It's the same issue, right? So they got you locked down over there, right? They got you guys locked down. Well, the only person over there that's defying them, who is willing to defy them, is Iran. Everyone else is on the payroll.
That's correct.
Qatar, they knew what was happening. They knew about it. Now, what they're doing now is it's just a show so their people don't revolt against them. It's
Correct.
all show. All you're going to hear from any of those Middle Eastern states is a bunch of talk.
That's what they did in the latest meeting they had.
Yeah,
They just talked.
They're going to have a bunch of talks. Hey, we need to get together and work together. They're not going to do nothing.
But I'm gonna tell you what somebody did. Saudi Arabia just had a meeting and they just signed a treaty with Pakistan. If somebody attacks one of them, the other one comes to their aid. So it's an
Yeah,
alliance,
but
military alliance.
hold on. Think about what you just said.
Go ahead.
Who just went out? Now, Pakistan has been making threats against Israel, right?
It's not threats. They said we are ready to offer any Arab country that's been attacked by Israel our aid.
Right. And guess who's buddied up with them now?
India.
America.
Oh yeah.
Guess why America wants you to buddy up with them?
Because Pakistan has been using the Chinese weapons, right?
Yeah. And what does that mean?
That means they're not subservient to what America wants them to do.
No. See, most people don't even understand what's happening. The Americans want you buying their weapons
Yes.
because it keeps you in line.
Yeah,
Why?
exactly. Because even when you buy their weapons, they still have the controls.
They have the controls. So
That's
when
what
they
happened. That's what happened with Qatar with the latest strike
no,
by
no,
Israel.
no,
no.
that-
Listen to
no,
listen,
that is
listen to
not,
this.
bro. That
No,
is
no.
not
Listen
what
to
happened.
this. Listen to this.
That is
Let me
not
show
what
you.
happened.
Okay, go ahead.
That is not what happened. Qatar
What-
fully knew what was going on. The Qatari government knew what was going on. America runs their air defense there. They turned it off. England came and helped refuel the planes, and they bombed. The Qatari government knew what was going on. All they're doing now is showing you that they don't agree when they actually agreed, so that you don't run them out of office.
I mean, you can say that, but I have a
They
different.
were complicit in the attack. See, these same people shot Iran's drones when they were fighting Israel.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's that America has same with them.
Yeah,
America, listen to this.
has
America,
control.
France, UK, all the weapons that they sell, everybody else.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany too, and it's been exposed by Pakistan's prime minister. That's why he said we gotta get away from Americans' weapons because we truly don't have the control over them. Because when when they when they needed it to defend them from airstrikes and whatever, they couldn't
They could use it.
they couldn't activate it because America had the controls on the activation.
Yeah,
So
just like Iran, they turned off the GPS in Iran,
yep,
so their air defense would be in trouble, and they
correct.
attacked it from within. This is the bully that I'm telling you about. Notice that Israel took the pain in this situation with Iran. America didn't take any pain. America just came in and said that's enough.
Hmm.
Only
But
because why? Because they weren't ready to send ground forces. They
yep,
have so Charlie Kirk is intended to galvanize the base for the upcoming war. See,
yeah, he
they
was.
the plan when Trump came in was to increase defense spending in the G7 and in NATO by 5% per country. That was because Ukraine is supposed to hold out the Russian war to the end of 27 to the end of 28. Europe was supposed to have enough time by then to get their war manufacturing footing down to where Europe is going to take over the duties of that war. They are searching right now for a way to enter that war. They want to keep that war going for several more years.
Yeah, I can
The
see that.
United States has said they want to pivot to China, deal with Iran, pivot to China, and then circle back and deal with Russia last. So if they lose Ukraine, NATO's finished. Europe
Yep.
is finished. So the goal is to get the old empire, which is Europe, the minerals in Ukraine initially, and use that to springboard a Russian invasion because Russia has the most natural resources of any one country. That's the goal. But
The
China,
other goal, but you missing one other goal, man.
what's
Venezuela.
Venezuela is just a means to an end. That is a direct link to China. See, the United States can't make China heal, right? They can't make China heal with the trade deals or any of that. China stopped buying their oil. Well, guess where they can, where they see they can hurt China
Where?
in the oil they get from Iran and Venezuela. So notice how that attack they tried to attack the oil in Iran.
Yeah, of course.
China won't come to the table. They don't have any leverage. So they need to cut a couple of their arteries off. The America don't care about Venezuela. They're not shooting any drug boats out there. They're just
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
they're just killing people, hoping that Venezuela will do something to provocate them to go in there and put their own government in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to make another puppet
Right,
regime
but
so they
but
can
they
steal their resources.
yeah
Venezuela has one of the highest
yeah
oil
but they don't.
reserves in the
But I'm
world,
telling
man.
you, they do, but they don't need their resources. They got
How come they
yours
don't need it?
because they
Nah,
got
they still
your.
need them. No, they
Stop.
still need it.
No, bro. Look, this is look. Let me explain the thinking of an American. The Americans think like we're going to use up everybody's resources so that we have resources in the end. We have oil here. They're very limited in what they bring out of the ground here. They consider South America their backyard. So they look at that as if it's their oil. They already, in their minds, own that oil.
No, there's no American company that's
No,
extracting Venezuelan
Mahmoud,
oil.
you look, they already own the oil. They've had sanctions on Venezuela for how long?
Years now.
Right. And guess who had to go in there to try to revive it? No one else dared to do it. Well, China has dared to go in there and to start producing and making deals with these people, so their economy is starting to change. Well, we can't have that.
Of course,
don't-
we can't have.
We don't want their oil. We just don't want people to see that China's not us. So we'll go in there and put a stop to that.
Yep.
They're not going in there for their oil. They're going in there for what it represents. China and Venezuela represents it intensifies other countries.
Yeah, because we can't show the other countries there's a different way.
Yes.
They can see the light.
This is why they're down in Venezuela.
Yeah, they
Right?
do it in other countries like what's Burkina Faso. Have you heard about it?
Yeah. So what you're going to see, again, all of this is going to come down to the Ukraine war. Because when Russia wins, Europe right now has to become, this is how you know America's the king. Europe has to become Ukraine. They're going to kill the European men just like they killed the Ukrainian men. They're going to kill the Israeli men just like they're killing the Ukraine men. You know whose people aren't dying?
The Americans.
This is how you know Israel is not running America.
Well,
The people at the head, the people at the head of that table, they're dual citizens in all these countries. This is all considered their land. And they're going to take the people in these places and they're going to use them as crash dummies.
Yep. But man, that's crazy. What I want you to see, tell me is what you think about this video, because we talking about all the moves that America's been doing all around the world. But what about what's happening in America itself? Like, watch this.
Commodity for the same thing I was in the 80s. I've never seen anything like this. And it's all due to the president's tariffs.
You see this? So the farmers, most of their crops, like soybeans and all that, they can't sell it like they used to because China used to buy all of that.
Yeah.
Now they have nobody to sell it to, so their crops are dying. The workers are being deported. So you can see all these farmers are going out.
So stop and think, who benefits from this?
I have no idea. America's losing all of that.
No. Stop. You see, you keep thinking like a regular person. Who benefits from this?
I have no idea, man.
So now that the farmers don't have anywhere to sell their soybeans and stuff, that means they're going bankrupt, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So the billionaires can come in and
millions of acres of land owned
they're gonna be, correct.
The hedge funds are about to come in and scoop up all this land. So guess what the ultimate goal here is, Mahmoud, is to introduce Americans into slavery.
Yes, because that's a great segue into the next thing I want to show you, and it's right here. Concept: every American citizen has to do at least one season of farm work on our farms. No more importing workers. It will be a national duty. Everyone is drafted to one season of farm labor in their lives between ages 18 and 30. So this is what they want.
Yeah, because this is the globalist plan. Who are the globalists?
The Bill Gates, who's buying all the farmland and all
No,
that.
Bill. It's not Bill Gates. Bill Gates is just someone who is allowed to profit off of it. See, these are the people that you don't know their names. Most of them live in Israel, live in America, have dual citizenship. These are your deep state people who are behind this. And then the front people, the people you know that are purchasing this land, these people are covered for the real people. Mahmoud.
Yeah, I
You
can
don't
believe that.
know the real people's name. Like, for example, Marion Adelson. You ever heard of her?
Maybe that name came to me before, but I don't
No,
recall
she
that
gave
much.
Trump $200 million.
Oh
and
yeah,
to-
yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
her now.
and
Yes.
told him that he would put Marco Rubio in his cabinet.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember it now.
She's a Zionist.
Yeah, that's
Notice
true.
how Trump put all Zionists in his cabinet.
Yeah, that's true. They
Because
bankrolled him.
Yeah, all the bankroll money came from the Zionists. The Zionists bankroll both sides. So it doesn't
Did-
matter who wins the presidency. Donald Trump ain't gonna do nothing no different than Joe Biden.
That's
The
true.
the geopolitical direction that America is going that way regardless of who the president is.
That's true.
Because the president, he can't even control Congress. Congress is bought and paid for. Everyone.
That's true. I have seen a stats that APAC bankrolls like 98% of the Congress.
Yes, they all have APAC people. They all
They're
have
handlers.
that
Yeah,
tell
they're
them how to
handlers.
vote. Yes.
True.
I mean, think about this. I want you to start searching this. I think it's 43. I think it's or 42. There's either 42 or 40. I can't think of the number. But all of the United States presidents, except 2 or 3, right, are blood related to a king from England.
Yes, oh my god, I had that video. Man. I
Right.
should have saved it. It was a little girl,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
She was
She's
in
like
middle
13,
school.
14 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
And she put the whole
Yeah.
thing together, right? Well, stop and think for a second. Then how in the hell are you a democracy?
There's no democracy.
That's the point. It's all illusion. So you have to be able to frame the narrative. They need a martyr because they are ready for war. China, they have to strike now. They are planning to go into Iran by the end of the year.
Yeah,
They
I can
have-
see that.
They have to do it. Because if they don't, then it's over for them.
Yep. Time's running out quickly on them.
Yep. So they have to galvanize their support. Right? So Charlie
So that's why
Kirk,
dude got deleted so quick.
well,
on the quickness.
he had started to talk. So
Yep.
it presented an opportunity for him. But they may have had that idea for him from the beginning. Remember, this dude dropped out of high school, quit college. How did he get these multi-billionaire people to come and give him money?
That's true.
Why were they so willing to give him money? I got a text message right here that I'm going to tell you about. Let me, 1 second. I'm going to tell you about this message.
While you search for it, I want everybody to see this video and tell me what do they think about their
No,
personal
I
information.
got it. Hold on before you
Oh.
start.
No, go ahead.
Breaking. A private jet disabled its location monitoring system while departing the Bravo airport. 12
Yep.
minutes from Utah Valley University, 1 hour after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. The
I
jet is
had that.
owned by Derek Maxfield, a wealthy donor to this church, who is a donor to Charlie Kirk.
That's true. I had that, but I didn't get it for this stream. But I had that. It was yeah, it was like 1 hour away from the place
No,
of the
it
shooting.
was 12 minutes.
Yeah,
The
12 minutes.
plane
But it
left
was
an
yeah,
hour
yeah,
after the shooting, and then
yeah, yeah.
I believe they grabbed that old guy as a diversion.
Yeah, and it was shown somebody from the crowd knew him. He was like, this dude has been in all these type of political rallies and stuff. He just
Yeah.
does that to grab attention to
So,
himself all the time.
So let me give you an example, bro. It's like, I've told some brothers on Bang's channel to stop worrying about the N-word and stuff like that. I'm going to give you some history here. And
Go ahead, sir.
and what I've learned the true nature of racism is, right?
Yes, sir.
You ever heard of Bacon's Rebellion?
No, I have not.
So this dude Bacon was this poor white dude who was out working the farms with the black slaves. See, people don't realize that initially, during the beginning of slavery, it was white and black people.
Irish people, I think, too.
Just
like the Irish and
bro,
stuff.
if you're considered Caucasian, and they consider them Caucasian.
Yeah,
the only difference was those people could work their debts off and then eventually leave. Well, this dude Bacon created an uprising with the poor, with the blacks and the poor whites. They went to fighting back. After that happened, this is when all these racist laws and all this racism went into full effect. They realized that they could never let the whites and blacks be on the same tide. Now you have this where you live. You have Shiites and Sunnis.
Yep.
And they never can be on the same side. Who do you think is dictating this disagreement between the Shiites and the Persians? Between the Arabs and it's all BS. It's the same BS that's going on here in America between white and black. And so I try to tell people, bro, don't do what they want you to do. Don't get emotional about that word. Let those words go, because they're playing with your emotions, and it's your emotions that's going to get you to do exactly what they need you to do. They need you to lash out because somebody called you the N-word.
And most of the time, who you're talking to or commenting on the typing in Facebook or whatever is a real person. Like it's filled with bots now.
Yeah, it's filled with bots because this division is profitable.
Very profitable.
And people need to understand that. And I just use that example because sometimes I don't go into great depth about what I'm actually trying to say to people, right? But if you have been like me, someone who would have knocked your teeth out if you'd have said that to me at a certain point in my life, you start to realize that none of that serves any purpose for you. It's a no-way street to nowhere. And
you're
it's
gonna get locked up.
Right. And it's all nothing more than your self-pride. See, that's what they found out, bro. If I can get you to care about something that's not even real, I now control you.
Yep.
So guess what I'm gonna do, Mahmoud? I'm gonna give you rights. I'm gonna tell you that you have rights. It's not something you can see. It's not something you can touch. It's just some imaginary ideology. How many rednecks in America will die for this right.
Yep.
That's the same game.
They always play.
Yeah. You don't have freedom of speech. They tell you do,
Hell no.
right?
Hell no. I've seen it like for the past couple of days. These people went haywire over this shit. They've been calling people's jobs, getting them fired, and they've been doing nothing, just republishing what Charlie Kirk himself said. All that free speech championing and all that went way out of the window.
Well, here's the thing with the Charlie Kirk thing, right? Is there's so much tape of him out there.
Yep.
That if they're just gonna flood you with the ones that they want you to listen to. Right? The ones that don't actually benefit anybody, those will disappear.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna show you one that disappeared right now. Look at this. Oh shit! I need to remove one of the screenshots. Hold on. Remove from studio, and let me put this right here. Did it show? Yeah. YouTube has taken down the video where Charlie Kirk questioned whether Israel issued a stand-down order on October 7th.
Yeah, it's gone. And so if you don't have it downloaded, that's never going to be presented, right?
Yep.
And this is the actual evidence that tells you what it is. See, they know, people know, but you know what? Nobody cares enough to do anything about it.
Yep.
So they'll just take the video down.
And it's going to be forgotten from the ether of consciousness.
Yeah, so then on the only videos you'll see, right, is the videos of him speaking because Charlie Kirk is actually a nationalist who, whether he knew it or not, you know what his number one goal was?
What?
His number one goal was to bridge the racism gap from the old to the young, because one of the negatives with the feminism and the LGBT, one of the negatives that has come with that is people aren't so disparaging towards one another. The racism game is not as strong.
Yeah. You'll be looked up. Yeah.
The younger people, they're more accepting of the LGBT people.
That's true.
They're accepting that. That's not the plan. The plan is all the racist people that we have we got to be super racist, right?
Yep.
All those people, they're dying. They're getting old.
The Glenn, what's his name? That dude who used to have a radio show.
Yeah, Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck, yes.
Yeah, these people who put out this propaganda, and this is why you would hear him make statements like, if I saw a black pilot, I'd ask if he was qualified. Because the narrative, the racist narrative that they've used from the beginning is that as a black person, you are genetically inferior.
Yep. You're getting your positions in DEI just to fill out a number.
And guess what the Democratic's job is? It's to give them a reason to say that.
Yeah, to give them to give them, not to give them, what's the word I'm looking, to give a validation of what they're saying.
Yeah, they are validating it. So then the people, they catch people being emotional for the blacks, and then they catch them on the other side too. So it's a tug of war where you're damn both ways.
More like an alley-oop between them. Like they do this, and I'm gonna do this for you. You're gonna have your base galvanized. I'm gonna have my base galvanized. Yep. They're gonna think we're working against each other.
Yep. And the more we push you against each other, the harder it is for you to unite as people, because we own the phones. We know where you're at. We know what you're saying. We can cut off any rebellion before it even gets started.
And just as you just said that, let me show you this. Doggy
Spirited Away?
I do not, Mr. Larson. And
I understand.
based on my lived experience, I'd like to know where it is as well, but I'm not going to speak for others.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mrs. Walsh?
No, I do not know where it is.
Mr. Sanderson? Dr. Hoffman? No, it's, and again, I understand. I get the point that you probably can't possibly know, but here it is. And you all did an excellent job in your presentations and have valid concerns about disability and how we can improve it. But how can we improve it if we're laying off 7,000 people? If we're not fixing the antiquated phone system? If we're saying it's all going to change because of AI, and yet an unvetted group of people is allowed to come in and look at everybody's individual records. Is that a good thing, Mrs. Groninger?
So what you just saw is that all these people who works for the Doge thing, right? All of them, they just had a hearing that they talked about how everybody's record that we know now that has been copied, they don't know where the copies are.
Oh,
They
I
just
can.
got copied at
No,
Delaware.
I can tell you where they are.
Yeah, that's where Palantir.
That's where they went.
Yep.
They have an AI machine, and the rumor is the AI machine is what told America that it was time to strike Iran.
Yep. Now it's all like AI based to about probabilities and
Yep,
defense
it's
and
all
all that.
based on probabilities. What are the probabilities if we don't do this, if we don't do that? This is why the Iran thing is going to be finished. They have to get the people here in America willing to go and die, or they have to do false flags. If this Charlie Kirk thing don't work, they're going to do something else.
Yep. They're gonna
They've
do something
always
far
done it.
worse.
Yep. And Epstein is just a pawn in the game to keep the people that they put in power in line.
Yep.
What up, Dolph?
So what? And now you said about the false flags and the Charlie Kirk's things, and you know how now Americans more than any time in their history have no what the word I'm calling for, no resistance to the propaganda that they're being pushed on, because you know what, 1 in 5 Americans adults found to be illiterate in 2024.
Yeah.
So you got more illiterate people on here. And you know what else you got? You got people now not paying their mortgages, the highest point since the 2008 crash.
Well, yeah, because what they need to do, Mahmoud, is when they bring the system down, they need everybody to rely on the government. So
Yep.
as more and more people duck their head into the sand about what these politics is, about racism and all these things that really don't matter, when you realize what has happened to you at the end, it's too late.
It'd be like a flock of sheep being led to the cliff without you knowing.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're gonna keep manipulating the money. They're gonna keep rents going up. They're gonna keep housing costs going up, because the one thing the government does is create a problem that they then come and solve.
That's true.
And what they
Exactly
want to
right.
do is they want to get everyone on universal basic income. See, this is the part of feminism that matters. Equality. This is why all these people out here thinking, oh, men and women are equal. They're going to pay you the same thing. You're going to have the same living conditions. Like they say, you're going to own nothing and you're going to
You're
be
gonna
happy
about it.
about it.
The
They are,
crazy thing is, if you just say something wrong or criticize somebody you shouldn't be, that money is long gone.
yep. And that's where we're moving, right? And we're moving right there, right to it. Slowly but surely, we'll end up getting there. We'll end up being there. And they're going to get there in time. And I read another interesting thing where people said that well, not people, this person said that America's plan is to switch over to cryptocurrency, right?
Yes.
The plan is to switch it over dollar for dollar. So to have a cryptocurrency that is equivalent to the American debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get everybody on the system, then devalue the system and start with a new one. That means their debt's gone. They're going to devalue their debt through cryptocurrency. That is their plan.
Yep, I can see that whole clearly. And now everybody's in like every people in the country, the government got you by the balls. You can't do shit. You can't think for yourself. You can't say something you shouldn't be saying. Thoughts will be illegal. That's what they want.
It
The end goal
already is.
thoughts. Yeah.
Go to Europe. See what happens.
Yep.
They'll charge you
Europe.
with hate crime.
God damn. Europe is trash in that sense. Hey, everybody listening, come to Arabia, man. We got you. Because you ain't gotta do shit in America, man. Can you hear me, Bees?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, I want to show you something. Hold on. Let me remove.
Well,
one
hurry
of
up,
the videos.
because I got to bounce.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce too, but I gotta show the people now. And if you listen to all that knowledge that Bees dropped, all the stuff that I showed you, now you gotta know this.
And if you don't know,
You think you're funny, don't you?
It's one of the videos I play when I'm about to end the stream. I apologize.
All right, Mahmoud. You a clown? Okay.
But now, back to the.
But
back
I'll
to
holler
what-
at you, man. I got to bounce.
Yeah, me too, man. But
All
thanks
right,
for
bro.
coming up. Thanks for coming through, man. You made the stream very worthwhile, man.
All right,
Thank-
bro.
Hey, give it up all for Bees, man. He laid the law, man. Hey, we go back to all of this connects to Trump being on Epstein's list. He's got by the balls, and now, you know what? You gotta know what you gotta know, and that's what I heard about Trump. And now everybody on this panel and on the chat and on the viewers know about Trump is this.
was a kid diddler. Yeah, I heard that nigga was a pedophile. Cause I heard that nigga was a kid diddler. Yeah, I heard that nigga was a pedophile.
I heard that dude was a pedophile. But yeah, man, it's been very enjoyable, to be honest. I'm very glad that I made the stream. Thanks for Bees for dropping by. Thanks for Dolph, Critical Thinking, Bound 2, everybody who came on the panel and the chat, Zero. Thanks everybody for coming up, man. This was very enjoyable. I'm gonna do more streams in the future. So thanks everybody. I'm gonna catch you later, man.